Hello, welcome back everyone to Active Mindfulness Mindful Mondays. As always, I'm Gemma, psychologist, cognitive behavioural therapist and mindfulness teacher, and we are here together every Monday at this time for us to practice a brief meditation together. So it's a great opportunity for us to practice and ask any questions that you might have and leave any comments. So the title of today's session is Breathe, Notice, Return. And that's really what we're going to be focusing in on today. So mindfulness is, as you know, the definition of mindfulness is about the awareness that emerges when we learn how to pay attention to the present moment in a particular way. And that particular way is deliberately, on purpose and without judgment. So what that doesn't mean is that we need to be in the present moment and focused on the present all of the time, because that's just not possible. Our minds, they have this amazing ability to take us in our minds to the past, so that we all know we have a past, we have a childhood, to the present, to right now, what we're experiencing, and right into the future. We project ourselves in the future, which is why we do things like take out insurance or pensions or things, because we're imagining that there's some kind of future for us. And we move in and out of those states. So mindfulness is about just being able to be in the present and recognize the mind wander at times. So recognizing it wandering off in an intentional and deliberate way. So we're deliberately recognizing it rather than what normally happens, which is that we're kind of on autopilot. We go through life not really noticing. So if you've ever had that experience of driving home from work or going somewhere or coming back from somewhere, and you realise when you get home that you don't remember a single thing of the journey. And it's not that you wasn't there, it's just that your mind was very busy with other things. You know, you were still driving, and if anything had have needed your attention would have kicked in and would have been there. But you were also kind of somewhere else, thinking about your day or tomorrow or what you need to do. So even though you know you cross like 4 roundabouts and 3 traffic lights, the memory just isn't there. And that's autopilot. We do that a lot. So mindfulness helps us to notice that the mind has gone off in those ways. And that means that when this mind does this wonderful thing of being able to project us into the past and into the future, we have more choice over whether we stay there or not. So I'm sure everyone's had those moments where they've got really caught up in something that's either happened before or could happen. What if thoughts could potentially happen in the future. And recognise that actually this is unhelpful for me now because I'm kind of stuck. You know, I want to let go of thoughts of whether I've done well in that exam because I can't do anything about it now. Or I want to let go of the worry about whether I'll get ill when I'm older and be unable to look after myself because I've done all I can do. I've maybe got some insurance or maybe set something up, but beyond that I can't do anything more. So we recognise it's unhelpful, but the mind finds us just going back there. So mindfulness can really help us bring more of an intention to where we are at a particular time. So the way that we practice this is by focusing in on something, quite often our breath, and we're going to use our breath today. You can use lots of other things, and we will also notice sounds and a sense of touch as well. But really focusing in on something and then just becoming aware when the mind wanders off, when it takes you somewhere else. And when you become aware of it, just noticing, where did that go? So that you're acknowledging it, so that it's not something unprocessed, and then just guiding your attention back. So you are acknowledging where you went. It's not like we're trying to banish those thoughts. We don't want to banish thoughts. We just want to be able to react with them however we want to react to them, rather than getting caught up in them. So we're going to try a meditation today that can be really helpful in building this skill. And the skill is really a building block of mindfulness meditation. So it's something to keep developing and keep working on. So I'm going to ring the bells before and after the practice. As always, take part as much or as little as feels right for you. Let's go. So to start with, your first task is to find a comfortable position. So the ideal when you're doing this practice is to be sat with your spine straight or self-supporting and your feet flat on the floor. So there's a reason for this. If you have your feet flat on the floor, you can connect with the feeling of the floor. And having your spine straight and self-supporting gives you a sense of being awake. So mindfulness is really an invitation to fall awake rather than to fall asleep. Sometimes people feel it's about relaxation. That might be a byproduct, but really it's about falling awake to the present moment. It also allows, if you've got your spine self-supporting, for your chest to breathe properly. Sometimes we find ourselves going like this, and it's a little bit more difficult to breathe. So we're going to hopefully keep our spine self-supporting or straight, but take care of your body, do what is right for you, and if you do feel that you want to lay down, then doing so. So when you've found your right position, I'm going to invite you just to close your eyes. So as always, it's an invitation to close your eyes. If it doesn't feel right for you, if it doesn't feel safe where you are, then do what is. Perhaps just a half close, or just simply resting your gaze lightly on the floor in front of you. So we're going to start just by seeing if we can check in with, notice and acknowledge what we're bringing with us to this practice. So we're connected lots of times throughout the day to people, experiences, things. We tend to bring a lot with us to every moment. We tend to bring work with us and home with us and friendships and relationships. What we're going to do now is just notice and acknowledge any of those things that might be here. So we could notice them in the form of thoughts that we keep coming back to, form of emotions, or bodily sensations. We're just checking in with them and acknowledging them, but we don't want to get caught up in them. So if it helps, you could just give each one or two word label. His thinking, his memories, his worry, his tomorrow, whatever it is. And then just see if you can notice what else is here. What other layers are here right now, in this moment. When you feel ready, the reason we've acknowledged all those things that are here anyway, not bringing them on, they were just here, is so that we can let them go for a moment in this breathing space. So to do that, we're going to narrow the focus of our attention from all these things that we're checking in with to just your breath. So start by checking in with your breath at the place that you notice it's entering your body right now. Could be the nostrils, could be the mouth. Just becoming aware of what it's like for you to take that in-breath. Perhaps noticing whether the in-breaths feel the same or slightly different. Perhaps one is more tingly than another, or warmer, or cooler. Just taking your time to be with your breath at the place that it enters your body. And you might want to stay here at the place that enters your body, or let your awareness of your breath grow by becoming aware of the breath moving down your body, of the rise and fall of your belly, or even the subtle movements of your shoulders or your hands as you breathe. Of course, the mind is a busy place. It likes to think, it likes to problem solve, it likes to process at all times. So sometimes the mind might take you away from the breath. You might not even notice at first that the mind has wandered from the breath to something else, your day, tomorrow, memories, things you need to do. But when you do become aware of that, just see if you can acknowledge it in exactly the same way that you did at the start. Just acknowledge that this is here, perhaps giving it a 1 or 2 word label. His thinking, his thoughts, his memories. And then seeing if you can guide your attention back to your breath. You're not stopping yourself having the thoughts or whatever it was that took you away, but you're simply noticing that your mind went somewhere else, noticing where it went, and then guiding your attention back when you feel able. And it may help you to focus on your breath, to place one hand on your belly, one hand on your chest. And simply allow yourself to experience the movement as you breathe, or the vibration in your hands. It may also support you to stay focused on your breath. If you wish to, you can count. Inhale 1. Exhale 1. Inhale 2. Exhale 2. Inhale 3. Exhale 3, and up to 5, and starting again. At each time you notice that the mind has taken you away, carried you off down the thought stream, or taken your attention somewhere else. Each time just acknowledging where it's gone. And then allowing your attention to narrow once more to the breath. You always have that option of placing one hand on your chest or one hand on your tummy, or even placing both hands kind of your fingers interlaced on your belly, and just feeling them gently pull apart as the breath fills your belly. No need to change the breath or do anything different. The body knows how to breathe. Your task is simply to be with your breath, to notice your breath, to notice when the mind wanders. Whether you notice straight away or a few moments later, doesn't matter, you've noticed. And then after acknowledging what you've noticed, just gently guiding your attention back to the breath. When you're ready and it feels right for you, just going to expand our attention. So keeping the breath, keeping an awareness of the breath, but in the background. And allowing some of your attention to move to the soles of your feet, and particularly to whatever is connecting with them. The floor, the bed, your socks or your shoes. And noticing the connection as you move gently up your body. Perhaps noticing the feeling of the seat, where it's supporting you and where it is not. Or the feeling of your clothes on your skin. Even the subtle movement of air. And when you're ready, expanding your attention a little bit further to also notice sounds that might be coming to your ears right now. Perhaps noticing the sounds that are loudest or intrusive first. Acknowledging them. And just seeing if there's a sound beneath the sound. If there's a sound that you would miss if you weren't paying attention in this way. Perhaps seeing if you can find free sounds. As I open to sounds now, I can hear the hum of a TV in another room. I can hear my breath. I can hear the sound of myself swallowing. Just tuning in to whatever sounds might be coming to your ears. noticing also if the mind gets involved and tells you what the sound is, what's made it. Tells you I like this sound, I dislike this sound. Just noticing that the mind has done that. It's got involved and it said something. Taking you away from just hearing the sound. Just acknowledging that that's happened. And returning to the sounds. When you're ready, and it feels right for you, just going to take a moment to just open your eyes and just bringing mindful awareness, a quality to your sight. Perhaps noticing something of your environment that you haven't noticed before. Shapes, colours, the way the light is on something, or shadows. And just slowly returning yourself to the world around you and seeing if you can take this mindful awareness into the next moments of your day. So as always after a meditation, particularly if you've been sat, take care of your body. If you need to move or stretch, feeling free to do so. You might want to just bring some mindful awareness to some movements, perhaps gently rolling your shoulders or stretching out your arms or legs, whatever feels right for you to do so. Becoming aware of that movement, of what it's like before, what it's like after. Bringing mindful awareness to your everyday experience. So that was a brief meditation which really focused on the title of the session, which was breathing, noticing, returning. That's exactly what we did throughout. So mindfulness is not just about being in the present moment, and it's certainly not about being in the present moment all the time. It's about coming to the present. It's about noticing that where you were focused on something, the mind has kind of taken you away. It's taken you off on autopilot. It's wandered away. And you're just practicing noticing where that's gone and allowing yourself to just guide your attention back to the breath, to the body, to the sounds. So this can be really helpful for developing that skill of being able to intentionally put your attention where you want it to go, rather than it being kind of dragged around by an autopilot. That experience that we were talking about before of if you drive all the way home and you don't remember a single thing of the journey because your mind was somewhere else. Sometimes that's okay because it's gone somewhere nice or it's gone where we want it to. But imagine where it went to was something that you decided wasn't helpful for you anymore. Perhaps worrying about something that you couldn't change, or something that you could change a bit by doing certain things, but you'd already done them and there was nothing left for you to do. This practice is really about building that skill of being able to notice the mind wander and guide yourself back. And don't worry about how many times you have to do that. It's normal for the mind to wander, to think, to try and problem solve and process everything. But sometimes we recognise it's unhelpful for us. So if you'd like to know more, then please visit the website www.activemindfulness.org.uk or visit the Active Mindfulness YouTube channel with loads of free videos, resources for you to look at. Some of them are informational and some of them are practice based like this, so please do that. I'd love to see you here again for more Mindful Mondays next time. We're here every Monday at this time. And any questions that you might have, please do leave comments. Let me know how you're getting on, or questions that you have, and I'll answer them all in our Tuesday question session. Okay everyone, take care, and I will see you next week.